Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. I've got the NFC Championship game breakdown, and I'm really excited about this game. If you've been watching me, I've been saying for months it's going to be these two teams. These two teams were the two best teams in the NFC basically the whole season. Yes, I know the Saints lost the first game of the season, but they looked almost unstoppable the rest of the regular season, except for that one hiccup on Thursday night against the Cowboys. Yeah, I know they lost the last game of the season, but they had like one starter maybe looked at the field. The Rams, they actually started off 9-0 and looked really awesome. Their first loss of the season was to the Saints in New Orleans on November 4th. It was a fantastic game, 45-35, just a shootout between two great offenses, a fantastic football game. Matter of fact, until the Rams and Chiefs played, it was probably the most exciting game of the year to date. So you got a rematch between these two teams. What's changed? Well, the first thing that changed is that the Rams are going to be at full strength. They have Aqib Talib, their Pro Bowl corner. He's going to be available, him and Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters is very vocal. He was not a happy camper after the game. And I know this because he was a Chief for a while. When he gets this amped up about something, he usually plays pretty well. But you have him and Talib are both going to be there, and that's huge because Michael Thomas blew up that game. He had, 12 receptions, 211 yards, and a touchdown. It's really, really hard to see that type of production again with them playing at full strength. It's really interesting because the Rams shut down the Cowboys' rushing attack, and now they have to do the polar opposite and shut down the passing attack. And before you say, oh, no, you got Ingram and Kamara, you got these stud running backs, the offense of the Saints runs through Drew Brees. Brees is going to be able to throw the ball in order to win. Am I saying that they can't win by running the ball? No, I'm not saying that. But the Saints are when you talk about the Saints, the first and number one thing you have to stop is Drew Brees. So it's really interesting because you have the 40-year-old quarterback versus I think Goff's 23 now. Obviously, the young kid. So you got like the new legend versus the old legend playing in a great game. The other big factor, which to a lot of fans isn't going to seem like a big factor, but Sheldon Rankins, the defensive tackle for the Saints, had an Achilles injury. He's out for the year. This is huge because the Saints rely on a pass rush from the outside and a lot of speed in their secondary. The Saints defense has really played well this year, and their number one thing is stopping the run, which you got to do against the Rams. It's kind of interesting because even though the Saints have two really, really good running backs, the Saints are going to have to throw the ball. The Rams, in order to win this game, are going to have to run the ball with Todd Gurley and rejuvenized C.J. Anderson. Now, the game opened up with the Saints being a 3.5-point favorite. It was a 57.5 over-under. A very, very high score dropped down to 57. So, Dan, let's say I'm going to put action on this game. What I do, and like I've said all throughout the playoffs, don't bet on the playoffs because it comes down to you'll have like a missed field goal, something crazy on special teams, maybe a bad call. These two teams are very, very equal. And I don't think it's going to be the same type of game that it was first time around because look what they did against Cowboys. They were able to run the ball. They were able to stop the run. But you can't do that against the Saints because you want to go ahead and stop the run. Go ahead because you got Drew Brees who could basically throw footballs to me and you and throw for 300 yards. He's that good. So don't emphasize betting on playoff football, like I said multiple times, but that's another story completely. How would I bet this game? Well, I still like the Saints. I really do, and you can look, and people are thinking to themselves, well, man, they barely beat the Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey makes that. It doesn't matter if he makes that catch. The Saints are going to go down. They're going to kick a field goal. They're going to win the game. Or Brees is going to throw a touchdown pass. They're going to go for two and make it. Or miss and win 26-21 or 28-21. The Saints had that game won regardless of Alshon Jeffrey. So don't blame Alshon Jeffrey, who, if it's not for him, they don't even get to the playoffs because he was such an instrumental part of taking over in December and January. A phenomenal player, one of my favorite players coming out of USC. When I say USC, I mean South Carolina. I'm talking the Gamecocks, not the Trojans. But enough of my rant here. I like the Saints in this game, and the way to bet this game is that I've said this multiple times. You've been watching my videos. LA, Vegas, they're about 2 hours apart. There's going to be action heavy on the Rams. I think the reason why I say that is because I'm noticing the over-under dipping. That's not unnoticed that the Saints only scored 20 points against the Eagles. And some people are saying, you know what, this Rams defense at full strength. Saints aren't, but I like the Saints to win. If you do bet this game and you're going to take my advice, wait, because LA, Vegas close, this line's going to drop. Or you can get a teaser somewhere, probably somewhere you can find 3, but I fully expect that around kickoff time, so Saturday night, while you're partying, if you didn't party too much, because Vegas is a wild town, get your 3 and go ahead and put some action on the Saints. Over, under, I don't really expect it to be that much of a shootout. I think it'll be a lot more of a defensive game. I would still avoid the over-under completely, but what kind of game I'm seeing? I'm seeing more of a lower scoring game, but I think it's going to be something like 31-27, which is right around that 57-58 mark. It's not the 45-35 shootout. I don't think you're going to see that at all. I think you're going to see a lower scoring game. And when I say 31-28, something like that, yes, it's still a high-scoring game. But I think it's going to be a lot more of a defensive game. I think the Saints, what they're going to do is do their best to stop the run. I don't think they'll be entirely successful. The Rams are going to get their points, but I think what the Saints are going to do is play a different type of game. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I think the Saints are really going to play ball control in this game. I think they're going to take the running backs. I think they're going to flash them out in the flats. I think Ingram might actually have a huge game. Maybe a prop bet is for him to have an explosive game. I think they're focused on Kamara. I think you'll see some interesting things, just like they did against the Eagles. Remember, they're down 14-0. Then you saw some, a fourth down conversion, a fake punt. That Hill quarterback, one of my favorite players. So in this game, I really like the Saints in this game. I think the Saints are the better team. I think Goff's got a world of talent. Is he better than Breeze? No. You can argue, is Sean Payton the better quarterback, or is... Oh, no. I am so... Oh, God, I am so embarrassed. I'm drawing a blank. I can't believe I forgot his name. Oh, jeez. Wonder Kid, he's 32, the Rams head coach. I'm embarrassed, but Sean Payton's better coach. Brees is better quarterback. The Saints have a legitimate home field advantage. They are going to the Super Bowl. Instead of taking 3.5, I strongly suggest you can get 3 somewhere, even take the teaser. I think it's going to be a close game. Don't get snagged by the hook, all right? Don't do it. So get your 3. Wait. Over-under, I would strongly avoid, because I think it's going to be more of a defensive game, but a defensive game really could be 31-27 for these guys. So, if you haven't already, by the way, there's this button, and it's right down here. And see that little button? Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Wait till tomorrow where I break down the NFC Championship game. I am going. Until next time.